Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to Revive the Witch. So this is a quick PvP video on what I believe, in my opinion, is the best physical based PvP team. And this is the team. So it's Ella, Caledonia, and Tonel. Here are the stats. So I don't even think your Ella needs to be passive level 2. In my opinion, I think you will do fine with passive level 1 with this comp. So as you can see, Tonel. So I'm kind of raising Tonel right now, but she's also fine at passive level 1. And Caledonia is passive level 1. So if your whole team is passive level 1, the team can still win fights. In terms of gearing up, I don't think you need to invest this much into gears as well, because you're going to get carried by Caledonia's physical defense debuff on her second skill. So this team works on default auto, full auto. And so we're just going to be fighting random teams. And then as you can see, this is basically, in my opinion, the safest team for PvP, in my opinion, for physical. So let's just see the fights. So the normal way it goes is that you'll start off with Ella's first skill, and then she'll transform as soon as possible. And then thanks to Tonel's passive, you know, you get some chaos in the middle so that Caledonia can use her second skill. And then essentially once it becomes spammy, the whole team's going to be debuffed, and then Ella's damage going to keep on increasing and increasing. The only issue that they have really is fighting against other Caledonias. For some reason, Caledonia is like not really getting debuffed, which is pretty good, I guess. But you know, eventually we'll defeat the Caledonia. But if you're fighting someone like A Fallen, easy. It only takes quite a bit of time when fighting other Caledonians, but against any other team is very, very simple. You just watch and play. Or watch and learn, really. So hopefully we can find a strong Ella, but for the time being, this is what it would look like if you were to fight against a Fallen comp. So obviously, since we're on full auto, we're not really doing anything, we're just watching the game play. But, you know, it's really hard to, you know, not win with the team. Like as you can see, Ella strips buffs, so the immunity is gone on A Fallen, and so the rest of the team just gets annihilated. So you see, 27-second clip, pretty nice. Oh, this one is a good example. Level 90 Ella. So as you can see, 60k health, 10k attack. You know, got the good. Well, I mean the third sub isn't really that good, but the stat wise it's pretty good. You know, level 2 passive as well, and they're using the new Metamorphoses. So I'll explain why I'm not using Metamorphosis at the end of the video, but for now, we're just gonna go through these PvP fights. So, you know, the usual Caledonia S2 debuffing. So, even though Ella is made to be tanky and not a DPS, what Caledonia does with her AoE physical defense debuff is that she essentially enables the Ella to deal big damage while still having tanky stats, which is very, very nice. Alright, so as we're getting low on attack tries, I'll try and refresh for more difficult teams. But there's really no such thing as a difficult team when it comes to this comp, in my honest opinion. Because we have so many heals, we've got damage reduction from Caledonia on top of that. And yeah, Caledonia, as I've mentioned in my first ever Revived Witch video, that Caledonia works well with someone like Ella. So, you know, I'm just showing you my my information live. Let's take a look at this Ella. This one's easy. I mean, they do have the box weapon that has orderly fashion, but it doesn't really do much. So as you can see, transform, Caledonia debuff, and then once burst comes in, and they just get destroyed. Well, I mean, they're already getting wrecked before that, but you know, you get the point. Alright, so unless there's a big fight, I'll just go through the fights quickly. Oh, well that was cut short. This one's alright. Stat-wise is not that good, but you know they could upgrade the skills a little bit more, but you know, what can you do, right? You know, it's level 2 passive already, a Metamorphoses. Okay, so technically this team would beat my team if they were to fight me. You know, it's not really, you're not really in a good position as the defending team, as I've mentioned in my PvP video. But yeah, this team is not going to beat mine. You know, like 100% certain. You know, I've got no doubts whatsoever. And then only because they have Arcana Burst, I think. I mean, look at that. The LR can't even transform. Like, that's how bad it is, man. I mean, they could improve the AI, but I don't think they need to. Like, I don't think PvP needs to be the main aspect for this game. Like, this is just like an extra side thing to do. I guess, like, you know, enjoying your team, you know, curb stomp opponents, even though they have bad AI, you know. But here's another Caledonia comp. We're gonna take a while defeating these guys. And yeah, as I mentioned, I'll explain the team comp, like why they're positioned like that and stuff like that. And that's about it. Yes, as you can see, I didn't speak, so you guys can just like watch how long it's taking me to defeat other Caledonias. For some reason, they're just like absurdly tanky. I mean, every 30% health lost, remember, they cleanse their own debuffs, so they're definitely the hardest to defeat out of all the enemies in terms of using this comp. Just a little more. Okay, there we go. Yeah, 89 seconds. If you've noticed, the fights with a Caledonia in the team takes the longest, and then everything else without Caledonia, they get defeated pretty easily. Alright, so this one's pretty alright. If they had a better accessory, then I think they'd be, you know, better in stats, because they do have a good weapon and a good armor. But yeah, you know, pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, it's pretty smart putting Ella at the back, because the rear is usually the most difficult to attack unless you have a character that specifically attacks the rear, for example Akasha. Okay, this Ella managed to transform, but as you can see with the defense debuffs that Caledonia is giving, it's basically unable to regen their HP back, and in my case, they're not even taking any damage really, which is, you know, pretty interesting. Alright, so that took quite some time actually, 51 seconds. Alright, and that's about it. Unfortunately, we can't fight this Ella. This is probably the strongest Ella that we have come across today. Unfortunately, I have run out of attacks. If you do want me to make another follow-up video fighting this guy, you know, do let me know down in the comments. Now to explain the team comp. Alright, so let me just reset this and replace them. So I put Ella up front, Toenail in the middle, and Caledonia at the rear. So first of all, the reason why I've placed them like this is for pretty much obvious reasons. Ella is insanely tanky, and so you'd want to put her up front. Of course, Caledonia is just as tanky. However, because of her second skill, she becomes invincible and then moves away from her position. So if she's at the front, the next inline target that the enemies will attack while Caledonia is not in sight or while she's using her second skill will be the character in the middle. In this case, it would be Toenail. So I put Ella in the front so that that situation doesn't happen. Next up, we put Caledonia at the rear. And the main reason for that is because of the potential assassins that attack the rear, for example, Akasha. And so, considering their physical DPS, Caledonia, who is a physical tank, is perfectly suited to be at the rear, considering its survivability and its skills. And lastly, I put Toenail in the middle, as it's technically the safest spot in PvP. And if you notice, she has the least tanky stats, so you'd want to keep her as safe as possible. And yeah, that's about it. So the reason why I don't do something like this and use Metamorphoses, for example, is that even though I get the 10% stat boost, the HP, attack, and defense, is that unlike Caledonia, she buffs her team a lot, right? Immensely. She buffs attack, decreases damage dealt, decreases damage taken, and increases damage dealt, and healing the team, which is all good. And then this one boosts the boost of the mask by double, and so increasing your overall team DPS greatly. Now, the only reason why I don't use her instead of Caledonia in PvP is that I feel like it's less safe to use this composition. Reason being, Caledonia has a charge skill, which is healing all allies by 14% of Caledonia's max health at level 2, as well as reducing their damage taken for 5 seconds. So this skill is very huge in my opinion in PvP. I mean, even though PvP is, for the most part easy, this will make your auto experience very, very safe and stable. And Ella is physical DPS, and of course she buffs physical as well. It's just that Caledonia does it much better. I mean, if you look at this second skill, first of all, she knocks off enemies for 0.5 seconds. As you can see, when she dashes forward and back, the enemy is interrupted unless they're like in dragon form like Ella, at which they're immune to control effects. And at the same time, within 10 seconds, the enemy's physical defense is reduced by 5% of Caledonia's physical defense every time it takes damage, can stack up to 100% of Caledonia's defense. And as you can see, currently, my Caledonia defense is currently 3.8k, nearly 3.9k defense. And so at max stacks, unless the enemy has this much defense, their defense is going to be at 0, or if they calculate it like this, then their defense is going to be less than 0, making your team deal more damage. But yeah, that's pretty much all for, in my opinion, the best physical-based PvP team as of this date, as of this upload. Hopefully you guys found this video, informative. It's not really like a guide video, it's more like a showcase. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have got any questions or, stuff like that. Let me know down in the comments below. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.